Hi, my name is AJ Cole, and I'm the punter for the Las Vegas Raiders, and you are now watching Spotlight Raiders Talk.
We are not waiting for anybody to get up in here today. What is up, everybody? What is going on? We are back. We did not go live last week, but we here today for Nothing But Raiders podcast, episode 9.
Damn.
Raiders!
Episode 9 is definitely here, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Spotlight, aka Darian, aka whatever you want to call me, and I have my co-host with me. And that's my guy, Leo.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
I seem like I ain't talked to you in a month for Sundays, man. What's going on?
I know, right? That Super Bowl hangover, that football kind of goes away for a little bit.
That damn Kansas City Chiefs, man. I can't.
Woo. I can't, but I can't help but respect the coaching that went on in that game. Like, damn.
It was some great coaching. It was definitely some great coaching. So I crawled out of my dark retreat for this show. Chronicles of the Black Hole. What's going on, brother?
What's up?
Shout out to Robert Peanut, Paul Gaines, B. Al, Dominique 5. Before we get into anything else, I forgot my notes. Give me 1 second here.
Oh, no
I
problem.
totally forgot my notes, y'all. I'm sorry.
He sent them to me, but he forgot them. Go figure.
I printed them out, bro. I printed them out while I was at work. I'm sorry.
I got you.
I should have had them right in front of me like I usually do, man. Shout out to Raider Dangerfield. What's up, man? What's going on, everybody? What is going on? We're not wasting no time getting into this podcast. We are episode 9 for Nothing But Raiders, but some very interesting topics I sent to you today, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I like it. Yeah, I did.
Very interesting topics, man. We're going to talk. I know the Mac Jones thing is not really up on the paper, but hey, I still want to talk about it. I'm not really talking about Aaron. It's nothing really too much to talk about when it comes to.
He's still in his dark retreat. We don't know.
He's still in his dark retreat. We can't talk about it much. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, we don't know.
But before we get into any of the topics, I just want to let everybody know that this show is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a place where you could buy live events, Raiders tickets, sporting events, comedy shows. If you go to SeatGeek and use our promo code SRT, you get $20 off your first purchase. So use promo code SRT on SeatGeek to get your first $20 off your purchase, man. So if you want to go to Raiders games next season, if you want to go to the Hall of Fame game or something of that nature, any live event or any sporting event, go to SeatGeek.com. And when you check out, use the promo code SRT and get $20 off your first purchase. You can't be mad at that, man. You can't be mad at that. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty of things, man. So I'm not going to talk about Mac Jones right now because it's some other news that I want to get into. We talked. I sent you the first article, which was the 4 ex-Raiders the team should bring back in 2023. Now we all know that we in the off season. Brother. So before we get into this list, what would be your list of players that's in the NFL that's free agents that was former Raiders? Who would you like to bring back in your personal opinion?
It was funny when I saw this. Like, he was one of the players I wanted back last year with Nelly. I love Aguilar, especially the connection he had with Carr. I get it, Carr's not going to be here next year, but I thought he was a great deep threat receiver, and he played good when he was in Vegas. So that was spot on for me. I would have liked Nelly. Another one I would like back, and I know it's probably not going to be popular with too many people, but would be Khalil Mack. Just to see him opposite of Crosby.
Yeah.
I know we have Jones and we still have Jones, but you can do the rotation thing. See how much it'll be to get him over here. I always loved Mack. I loved Mack when he was a Raider. I was so mad when he got traded away to the Bears for all that. That would definitely be another one I would like to see come back. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? I would love to see Nelly come back, but it really depends on who's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Just hear me out. Just hear me out, because he had his best career year with Derek Carr. I'm just saying.
Sure did.
If you look at Nelly's career,
yeah,
I'm just throwing it out there. If you look at Nelly's career, Nelson Aguilar, and you look at his career in Philadelphia, shit the bed.
Right.
He came over to the Raiders and had a career year in yards and touchdowns and receptions throwing the ball to who? Derek Carr. He took from off that year that he was with Carr in the Raiders. He got that big money in New England because of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then he shit the bed again.
He did.
He did. I mean, do we need to go? Do we need to go? Do Nelly need to go to a different team and team up with Carr again? I mean, I would love to see Nelson Aguilar back.
Right.
It just really depends on who's the quarterback. That's my only issue.
Yeah, that would be the issue. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, how y'all feel about Nelson Aguilar in the chat, man? Let me know how y'all feel about bringing Nelson Aguilar back as a number 2 receiver, because Mac Hollins, we don't know if he's going to come back. Mm-hmm. We really didn't have a true.
I think he'll come back, but remember, he's still a developing receiver. He was a special teams guy. This is his first year that he was made to play receivers. You can tell the route running is like not on point, but he had a few good games.
But the Raiders going to have to re-sign him. That's the question, because he was only on a 1-year contract. So I'm thinking like, okay, Mac Hollins did have a career year with Derek Carr again, another career year. Because mind you, Mac Hollins, he played on a few teams, Miami, Philadelphia. He was just a special teams guy, but he came into that number 2 role because Waller was not around, and we was able to say it. But I like Nelson Aguilar. I mean, Mac Hollins is there. If we could get Mac Hollins for cheaper than Nelson Aguilar, then I'll take it. But I don't see any other receivers out there right now that's actually a free agent that could be a Devontae Adams.
No.
So, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I just want to say, Gore Peterson, South Jersey's finest, what's going on? Chef, what's going on? I just want to know, did you hear what Ziegler said? No, I did not hear what Ziegler said.
What did he say?
Yeah, what did he say? So we just going to go into it. We just going to we'll see about that. We'll definitely see about that.
But who did you want? Who would you want back?
Who would I want back?
Mm-hmm.
The next person that I want on this list. And that's Rodney Hudson.
Okay.
That's who I want back. He was the anchor of our offensive line, but we had some of the best offensive lines under Rodney Hudson at center. Yeah. And he was the anchor. He knew where everybody was going. He knew what everybody was doing on that offensive line. It brought experience to the offensive line with Rodney Hudson. I would love to bring him back. I know that John Feliciano is another one that I want to bring back too. But Carr had one of his best years, had one of his, best years with
that O-line.
With that O-line. In 2016, before he broke his leg, thanks to Donald Penn, as usual. But, I'm not going to get into that. But I think Rodney Hudson and John Feliciano, I think those two would be helpful to the offensive line. Even though they in contract talked with Jermaine Illuminor to bring him back, but it brings some depth. It'll bring some depth. Arizona is shopping Hopkins around.
They are.
The only problem with DeAndre Hopkins, I love it, but he wants to be a number 1.
Yeah, and he wants to get paid like a number 1.
And he wants to get paid mad money. That's the only issue with that.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to be a number one somewhere. I don't think he wants to be second fiddle to Devontae Adams being the number one, and he's getting majority of the targets.
Oh yeah,
Devontae Adams is a Pro Bowl receiver, even though he missed 8 games due to that PED stuff. I wouldn't want to trade for Hopkins. I just wouldn't want to do it at this moment.
What would it cost?
Who?
What would it cost to get him if you traded for him? That would be too much, I think.
Yeah, it really depends on what Arizona wants. They probably gonna want that 7th overall pick too.
Oh hell no!
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna want some. They're gonna want some draft capital and probably a player.
Yeah,
probably. That's what I'll say. But shout out to South Jersey Founders. He said thanks for the shout out. I agree with Hudson too. Andre James gotta go, man. I was never a big fan of Andre James. I just wasn't.
No. It didn't have the same toughness when Hudson was there. It's just not the same. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Max Covers TV. Shout out to Max Covers TV, man. He said that Hopkins is a $30 million cap hit this upcoming season. I wouldn't want that then. If we got Devontae Adams, I wouldn't want that.
No.
I wouldn't want that. So if you give me a solid number 2 that we could probably pay less for, like a Nelson Aguilar, or we resign Mac Hollins and he'll have a better career than he had this year, right. Then that's easy. Chef says that GM Dave Ziegler, we might not have an immediate answer at quarterback this year. Ooh.
He better. That's his job.
So I don't know. Did he say that on what's that guy's podcast? Because I know he was on a podcast not too long ago. I think it was Busting with Bros, if I'm not mistaken. Paul.
Oh, he was on Busting with the Boys?
I think it was Busting with the Boys. I think it was one of them. It's owned by Barstool Sports, though. I know they own Barstool Sports, but I'm not sure which one it was. But I did see a YouTube short of him being on there.
Oh, so sure. Okay.
I don't know what podcast it was. I think it was one. I think it's the podcast with Will Compton on it. If I'm not mistaken,
that's the one that Max Crosby was on. Okay, I got to check.
I think it's that one. If I'm not mistaken. But Chef said there's obviously no guarantee that Rodgers is going to end up in Las Vegas if he decides to play somewhere else or retire. The Raiders could be in a tight spot at quarterback, and this is my issue with this. Before we get back into what ex-Raiders that we want, this is my issue with. This is why. I say on my live streams when I started doing the XFL, which XFL was tremendously great. It was absolutely great.
Was it?
It was. Yo, I have to say that people like I said on my YouTube short, people need to pay attention to the XFL.
All right.
The Las Vegas Vipers got Martavius Bryant, they got Geronimo Allison, and they got Vic Beasley as a linebacker.
Vic Beasley's down there now?
Vic Beasley's down there. So and then you got Paxton Lynch that plays for the Orlando Guardians. You have a lot of NFL players that could come back to the NFL playing in the XFL. That's just me. XFL was pretty dope. And just to throw it out there, y'all, XFL is pretty dope because of this. At the 2-yard line, you go for 1 point. At the 5-yard line, you go for 2 points. At the 10-yard line, you could go for 3 points after you score a touchdown.
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes, that's what I love about it. I love the excitement about it. Former Raiders quarterback AJ McCarron.
McCarron was on there. I saw that.
He had a 15-point deficit because he played for the St. Louis Battlehawks and they went up against San Antonio. 15-point deficit with 1 minute and 30 seconds left and came back and won.
Ooh.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. But my guys are Rodney Hudson and John Feliciano for 2 players to ex-players to come back in 2023. And this one I'm not really too mad about. How you feel about it? Nicholas Morrow.
I'm not too mad about it. I wouldn't be mad because he's very reliable. You know? I wouldn't be mad if he came back.
But I think if we get a Nicholas Morrow, you have to think about it too. He had some injuries just like Denzel Perriman.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the best ability is availability, and linebackers kind of our weak spot on this
that's
defense.
One of our huge weak spots.
Outside of defensive tackle, linebackers is our issue. So, I mean, I like to bring Nicholas Morrow back and see what he could do in the Patrick Graham defense. But what can he do? Can he stay healthy? That's my issue. Can he stay healthy? What's going on, Raider Twine? What's going on, brother? What's going on, man?
The same thing.
But yeah, so our 4X, the 4 experts that we have written down was Nelson Aguilar, Rodney Hudson, and John Feliciano, and we have Nicholas Morrow. But outside of that, you said Khalil Mack.
I said Khalil Mack.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I said Khalil Mack. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I would love to see him in silver and black.
So,
again.
if any ex-Raiders that's in the NFL right now that is a free agent and you want them to come back to the Raiders, put it in the comments below. We would love to see it. We would definitely love to see who would y'all love to come back, even though Khalil Mack is the most popular one.
He is.
But who we like this? Who else would you like to see come back? I picked Rodney Hudson and John Feliciano. I think those two. I love, the actual. I love the offensive line. I love the defensive line. So, speaking of defensive line, can we bring back Darius Phillips, please? Raider Nation. Can we bring back Darius Phillips? Because this guy sat out all year, and the Raiders did not. Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler did not bring this guy back. He was one of the main reasons why we won the playoff game against the Chargers. We're at the defensive tackle spot. That guy can ball. So bring Darius Phillips back. What are we holding on to? That guy didn't play all last year. And I understand he probably had I think he had an injury, but
you're talking about Darius Philon. Yeah.
Darius Philon, not there. Even Darius Phillips we had Darius Phillips in the preseason, and he had a good season after we released him. Because I think he was a former Cincinnati Bengal, if I'm not mistaken. He was part of that Super Bowl team.
Was he?
In Cincinnati. But Darius Philon, too.
Yeah, I would go with Philon, too.
Darius Phillips, that was in my mind, too. Darius Phillips. But Darius Philon, the defensive tackle that didn't play all last year. Bring Philon back, please.
He was good. He was a big part of why we won that Charger game. That one took us to the playoffs.
South Jersey Founder says Amari Cooper.
I was thinking that in my head, but he's not a free agent. And would Cleveland be willing to let him go?
I mean, that's a good question too, because I don't know if they're willing to let him go. Amari Cooper is a great receiver. I just don't think he wants to come back here. I just don't think he wants to.
It's a different regime. Gruden's not here. Mayok's not here.
I know, but Amari Cooper is he's kind of weird in some ways. He doesn't talk much, and I think he really wanted to leave and be a number one receiver, which he was in Dallas, and they traded him and they made CeeDee Lamb the number one receiver, but he's the number one receiver in Cleveland. So I don't think he wants to leave. I mean, Cleveland's not going to win shit. We just know that. Cleveland's not going to win nothing, but he wants to be a number one, and wide receivers, he's paid like a number one. So
he is the number one over there. Yeah.
Exactly. So that makes sense. Raider Twan says that John Feliciano may be an issue. He talked trash about the team when he left. Well, you got to think about it. Like Leo said, it's a new regime. It's a new regime. Sometimes you say stuff in the past when the organization is toxic, like our organization. Very toxic.
Yeah. I can see that happening. Look at what,
So Scrum to the Bum. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said his whole name. Scrum to the Bum. First pick should be Joey Porter Jr. if he's available. I just think he's a bit too short. That's my only issue with him.
We talked about that when we talked about the draft guys.
Yeah, in the last episode. I think his height is a little bit of an issue with him. I mean, he could jump. I see him jump, but I don't know. I think he got to put on a little bit more weight, and I don't think he should be the number 7 overall pick. He's a great corner, but I don't think he should be the first corner off the board. That's just me. Didn't Fallon hurt his leg jumping up and down the celebration? Yeah, I think so, but I think we should bring him Fallon back. We need help at the defensive tackle position.
Right? They need the help, the depth.
Is Matt going to be a free agent? I don't know if Fast Danny. No. I have no clue.
No. He said
so South Jersey Finance says probably right. Chronicles, but who the fuck wants to live in Cleveland? I understand who wants to live in Cleveland, but I just don't know if he wants to put on that silver and black again. I just don't know. It's just that Amari Cooper's a weirdo, man. He's just weird. Joey is 6'2". I thought he was like 5'9" from what I've seen. I thought he was shorter than 6'2". I don't know about that, but if we get Mac, how are we going to use him with Chandler on the team, in your opinion?
You rotate him. Yeah.
I mean, Khalil Mack is up there in his age where he can't be a full-time starter.
Exactly.
He just can't be. He's going to, I think both of them are rotational players. And mind you, Khalil Mack and Chandler Jones, both of them cannot stay healthy. They can't play a full 18 games. So if you rotate them, right, last year, both of them didn't play all 18 games. Mm-hmm. So trying to get Mack and Chandler Jones to rotate, it really depends on the defensive scheme, because we all know Patrick Graham likes to change his schemes up, according to what he said. All we saw was the same shit last year.
Yeah, Joey Porter is 6'2". He's 6'2", 194 pounds.
Scrum to the Buff say he's 6'1", 200. Mm-hmm. If we don't take him, the Eagles or the Steelers. I want to take Joey Porter Jr. as the first corner at number 7.
7 would be too high.
But in our next topic that we're talking about, which is the top 3 position that the Las Vegas Raiders must target at number 7. And the number 1 position is cornerback. So this is crazy.
It is crazy, because a lot of people will probably say quarterback. I'm like, no.
Not quarterback, corner with a C. With a C.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we our most consistent player at corner was Rock Ya-Sin. That's true. Let's just keep it real. I mean, you have Nate Hobbs that play outside, which he's not better. He's better in a slot than he is on the outside, in my opinion. You know, we saw, you know, Tyler Hall look really good. Sam Webb looked really good. We know, as you know, Anthony Everett kept getting hurt in that, but the free agent class is pretty interesting. I mean, you got Casey Hayward that could come in and mentor some guys at a high level. You know, despite his age, I know he's up there in age, but you need some veterans to mold a Tyler Hall and a Sam Webb.
Yeah, so, definitely. Meek Robertson. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like another Meek Robinson. We don't know what we're going to do with him either. So I think Casey Hayward will be good. Christian Gonzalez is better than Porter Jr.
He's definitely the higher ranked corner. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a higher ranked corner.
Yeah, he's definitely a higher ranked corner. He's more physical, the bigger body that you were talking about. Yeah, Christian Gonzalez.
But according to what this says here, they said the Raiders can wait to afford to get a corner at the 2nd and 3rd round pick. Especially, it seems like there aren't flying off the board early between free agency and some mid-round talent. Cornerbacks can fall at the number 3 on this list. Wouldn't you take Kyle Fuller? Is he a free agent?
Is he?
Because if he's a free agent, I would take Kyle Fuller as well. I saw him in the free agency before, and we didn't get him. So so I don't know why. I don't know why we didn't get him when he was a free agent before. So
probably didn't fit Bradley's scheme.
That's true. He probably could fit Patrick Graham's scheme though.
Mm-hmm.
Is Pyramid still under contract? From what I've heard, I think he's a free agent.
He's a free agent. They're just deciding on whether he's going to come back or not. Yeah.
Yeah, Pyramid is a free agent. Mm-hmm. But if I'm the Raiders, I wouldn't break the bank with Denzel Pyramid at linebacker. I just wouldn't. His durability is just not there. His durability is that he's barely on the field. He stay hurt. So, cornerback is the first position that the Raiders must look at the top 3 positions that the Las Vegas Raiders must target at number 7. 1 is cornerback. That's what it says here. Number 2, outside of corner, is quarterback, QB. So, in my opinion, you got to find the right quarterback for Devontae Adams. We know
you do. You have to. Mm-hmm. And The other part would be this would be a quarterback. Hopefully, they'll get the whole year. They'll get the Waller, Renfro, Adams, not just. Now that would be a huge difference.
Absolutely. So when it comes, it says might not be popular opinion, but just hear us out here. So the Raiders currently sit at number 7 overall pick in the draft. That put them right in the middle of the purgatory position and probably not getting one of the top 2 guys, while also having all your eggs in one basket. Will Levis as a top 10 pick? Hell no. Hell no.
No.
We're not doing it for the sake. This guy says, for the sake of this article, we aren't taking into account trading up or doing any type of movement in general. We're staying put with our current overall position. Right now, the rumors that the Raiders could be running to land Aaron Rodgers, blah, 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 via trade with the whole slideshow could be rendering unless it picks and it evolves any trade. So, but no, we're not getting no goddamn Will Levis. Absolutely not at number 7. If I'm going to pick a quarterback at number 7, that means Stroud has to be there if he's there. If CJ Stroud is there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wouldn't get Will Levis, but I don't know about bringing in Hendon Hooker. I love my guy. Don't get me wrong. He's a Tennessee ball.
Like second, third round pick, right? For Hooker.
Yeah, because he tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, how much cap space do we have this year? As of right now, I thought we had about what? I thought we cleared up almost 30 million releasing car.
We're almost at 40, right?
We should have more than $40 million in cap space. We should have more than that. So our third draft pick should be a defensive guy. I think it should be mainly defense.
Here it is, 48 million.
In cap space, that can't be right.
Mm-hmm. The Las Vegas Raiders now have the third most cap space at 48 after creating 29.25 million free space after releasing Carr.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they only carry a $5 million in dead money.
That's interesting.
Yep.
So this is my thing, right? If that is correct, as it says, as you stated, I wouldn't even go out and go get Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't.
Oh. It takes up a majority of that.
So we do sign Rodgers 60 mil cap. So that's the thing. If we have one of the highest cap spaces, right?
Yep, third highest.
Why not go with a guy that already knows the system and just re-sign Jarrett Stidham? We see what he could do.
I'm saying.
We see what he can do. He's been in the McDaniel system for so long, and it weighs out the whole Matt Jones trade.
Oh, that, yeah.
So
we'll get to
you
that,
keep Stidham at quarterback for at least 3 years? And you could build around a young quarterback. We've seen it happen. You built around Josh Allen. You built around Patrick Mahomes. You built around Joe Burrow. You built a defense around your quarterback.
To protect your quarterback.
Then you build the offensive line, with this cap space. I will put that cap space in other areas besides put all my eggs in one basket to go get a quarterback. I'm just sorry. Like, yeah, even though you go get a quarterback at number 7, true. But he can sit behind Stidham because Stidham knows the offense.
Right. And he can learn it.
Right. So he could learn it under Stidham. And I think Stidham's still young. He's mobile with his legs. He has a nice arm. And he just need more reps. That's what it is. He started 2 games out of 18 games last year?
That 49er game, he did good. That 49er game, he showed a lot. The Kansas City one, they got after him a lot more.
About it. But we already talked about it with the 49ers game. 49ers ain't have no film on him.
Film on him. Yeah.
And that's my thing. Like people like a lot of the Raider Nation is putting all their eggs in one basket with Rodgers, where you could go the cheaper route and go with Stidham and you could build a defense through the draft and through free agency that we could get, get some corners or some linebackers that's out there right now that we can get. Build an offensive line around Stidham and around Josh Jacobs if we re-sign him.
That's the other part. You got to re-sign Jacobs too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like you gotta think about it. Like if we're going to go out and get Aaron Rodgers, what's going to happen to Josh Jacobs? Are we going to not be like, oh, forget Josh Jacobs and we're going to get Aaron Rodgers? I don't like that. I wouldn't go for that.
But I think Jacobs did say he would only take less if they got a quarterback like Rodgers. That would be the only way he would take less. Mm-hmm.
So tragedy turned Trump says, see how dumb the Raiders are. You could have easily done a pay cut with Carr to save money and it wouldn't be a quarterback issue. You got
But he wasn't their quarterback. But he wasn't their quarterback. That was the thing.
Right.
You know, this was like his audition year for them, for McDaniels and Ziegler to Carr. If you did good, we were going to pay you this money. That's why none of it was guaranteed until after the season.
But I don't think. See, my thing is I think it wasn't an audition year. I think McDaniels, when he got hired, he knew that he was getting rid of Derek Carr.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You think he brought him in just to get Adams?
Yeah, I think he brought him in just to. I think he re-signed him just to get Adams.
Just to get Adams. Yeah.
I just knew it. Just the way the season was going, and you hear Carr in these press conferences, and you hear McDaniels in these press conferences, you could tell there was no relationship there. It just wasn't. So, that's what I want, guys. Is better for the future. Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
You got to start building through the draft for the future.
And
have to.
You have to mix vets with rookies. You just don't want to go out and get all rookies. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to go out and get all rookies. You want to mix some vets in and use some of that money in free agency instead of mind you. If we don't trade for Aaron Rodgers, we keep all them draft picks. And we got one of the top cap spaces in the NFL. Let's utilize it somewhere else to make this team better. We have holes in defensive tackle. We have holes at right tackle. We have holes at depth in the offensive line. We have holes at the linebacker position. We have no depth at corner. Put that money in those positions instead of putting all that money into a quarterback where you got a quarterback where our defense be ranked 26th and 27th the whole year.
Right.
Come on, like y'all gotta be more realistic with it. For real, y'all gotta be more realistic with it.
So yeah, we're not just plugging quarterback away from being the best. Nuh-uh.
We're just not. No way. We're just not. Garbers can be the next Purdy, same size, style of play.
What?
I mean, you gotta think about it. The difference between Garbers and Purdy. Purdy had an offensive line.
A defense.
He had a running back and Christian McCaffrey. He had everything he needed. Unfortunately, you put a tight end on Hassan Reddick that hurt his elbow. So, I mean, you can't put a tight end on something. That's like putting a tight end on Max Crosby.
Nope. Notice the Chiefs didn't do that in the Super Bowl.
Our organization put the funk in dysfunction. Yes.
Yes, we did. Oh my God.
Absolutely. So we gonna get to the third position here. The third position that we have that must be a target at number 7, and I talked about it just now, the offensive line. If we go out and mix, right? If we go out and get like some depth at tackles or some depth at guard, I think we'll be fine there. And I think if you go back and, like I said, go get a Rodney Hudson and remove Andre James at the center position. You still got Thayer Munford, which we're going to talk about him. He's still a young guy. We still got Dylan Parham, still a young guy. You mix some veterans with some younger guys, you can go out and get some. So I'm not even thinking, me personally, I don't know. I'm not thinking about a quarterback at this point. Because you got to build from the inside out.
So with the 7th pick, if Stroud or Young is not there, you want them to go O-line.
Yeah, I would like for them to go O-line. I go with the best offensive lineman available.
So it's that big boy from Ohio State or Georgia, right?
I thought it was the guy from Northwestern, Peter Swarnowski or something like that. Anthony Price put it offensive tackle Peter Skornowski from Northwestern.
And then there's Paris Johnson from Ohio State.
Yeah. And one thing I can say about Ohio State offensive linemen, they succeed in the NFL, unlike Ohio State quarterbacks. I'm just saying, people love CJ Stroud, but a lot of people think at the same time, people think CJ Stroud might be a little bit too hyped.
He said if Carter's going to be gone 1 or 2, man. Carter's going to be out of there. I would love
Anthony
Carter.
Price, I was saying you go for the best offensive lineman available that goes with your scheme.
Right.
You got to go it might not be a pretty pick that a lot of Raiders fans might not like. But
yeah, and that's the thing. People are like, oh, so we need
it's not flashy. It's not this. No, you got to go with the inside out. Mind you, people fail to forget that we didn't have a pick to the 3rd round last year because we traded both our first, 2nd round picks for Devontae Adams,
which I didn't mind.
Right, I didn't mind it at all.
We got Devontae. Yeah, I was like, yes.
Yeah, we didn't mind it at all. So
I was like a draft where they finally can say the Raiders didn't blow it in the 1st round. Like,
yeah. And I think we're gonna have that. I just really hope we don't pull an Alex Leatherwood type of thing.
Oh my God, that one I will never understand.
If anybody remember my reaction to that, Alex Leatherwood was not a 1st round pick. He wasn't the 17th best player in the draft.
Oh no,
he just wasn't. And Goon ticket holder, Raider Goon ticket holder, be safe driving, bro. Be safe driving. Seriously.
It's a punch drunk Raider. Trade back 4 picks. A lot of people have been saying that if you can't get your quarterback, then to trade back.
So, White Puma Jabroni forever. It says no defense is going to beat Mahomes. The Eagles couldn't even do it. Now you gotta outscore him. Let me talk about that real quick because people fail to forget this though. That field was terrible at the Super Bowl. That field was terrible. Every defensive lineman was slipping like crazy if they wanted to get upfield. When it came to Arizona's field, Arizona got one of the worst fields in football. If I'm the Las Vegas Raiders, we're not playing the Arizona Cardinals. They got to come to us.
Which was weird because I had never seen the field that bad before in Arizona. And I went to
a bowl game for that field.
I went to a bowl game in Arizona and I didn't see the field that bad when we were there. That was crazy when I saw how bad that was at the Super Bowl. I was like, okay, maybe I do believe the conspiracies because why was this field so bad today?
And they put so much money into that field.
Yeah,
they put so much money into that field. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But totally agree. We need a real defense. We do. Chad said, Darian, every time Mitch has a stream, I'm going to call him Mitch Cassidy. Yeah, because I know he don't like Orange Cassidy from AEW. So I get it. Stroud would be a bust. I won't say that just yet. It really depends on what team he goes to. That's the thing. It depends on what team he goes to. Man, I'm in Orange County, but nothing but traffic.
Good luck, brother. Good luck, Orange County at this time.
The stages at halftime messed up the field. I wouldn't say that. Eagles had on the wrong cleats. No, because it was a lot of Kansas City. It was a lot of Kansas City Chiefs players slipping too. It was both sides. It was both sides. It was just a terrible field overall.
Yeah,
but so that's the 3 positions that the Raiders should go for at number 7, which is corner, QB, and offensive line. So, now let's go to the next quick topic is 4 Las Vegas Raiders players who see expanding roles in 2023. Now, this is an interesting one because they have some very interesting names on this list.
They did.
And one of the favorite guys that I liked coming out of LSU that we drafted last year was Neil Farrell Jr., the defensive tackle. I think his role should expand more, even though he was a rotational guy, but he was one of those guys that I loved on tape at LSU. And I feel like Patrick Graham did not give him a chance to be on that field enough at defensive tackle. I think his role expands this year. Him and Matthew Butler. I think those two defensive tackles have to get more time this year. And I feel like Patrick Graham has to rotate his defensive tackles to keep them fresh. That's why we could not get no pressure, because he kept the same defensive tackles in over and over and over again. So
yeah, there were very few games where you saw that defensive tackle pressure up the middle.
Right. And you saw from the younger guys, though. You saw from Matthew Butler and Neil Farrell. You saw flashes of it, but he just didn't have them on the field enough. So how you feel about Neil Farrell, though? You think he should expand his role going into
he should definitely get more burn. I loved what I saw on him. You could definitely see he's going to be good. You just got to stay healthy and keep him in there a lot longer and just trust that he's going to do it. I'm wondering if they're going to – I know they're going to keep Butler. They have Farrell. Mm-hmm. Are they going to keep Tillery in the rotation with them? Because remember, that was one of the dudes we got during the season.
I have that in the next segment about him too.
Yeah.
Okay. I had that in the next segment. I didn't send it to you, but it was going to be a resign. It's called resign or walk. Sign or walk.
Okay. Okay.
So he's definitely technically he's definitely in there. The second person, like, just what's his name?
Yeah, somebody just said his name. I look back.
No, the other guy. That was in the chat. Get Deron Payne and Jalen Ramsey in free agency. Time to get guys that will produce. From what I'm hearing,
Ramsey's not a free agent, though.
He's not a free agent. We'll have to trade for him. But Deron Payne is a free agent, and it looked like he's going to be franchise tagged.
Oh, he's going to get max payment. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sam A says Zeus. That's the next person that we have on this list is Zamir White. And I think Zamir White should expand his role this year. I think Josh McDaniels, you got to get him more involved.
You got to get him more involved. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have 4 running backs. You had damn near 4 running backs on the depth chart going into every week, and you ran Josh Jacobs down to the ground.
I mean, I get why he was producing, but
he was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the man need more than just one breather of one down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say Zamir White definitely had a good rookie campaign. I'm not gonna lie, even though that it wasn't, he only rushed the ball for 17 times in 18 weeks. Mm-hmm. That got to be more. It takes the load off of Josh Jacobs, especially if you want to pay Josh Jacobs the big money. Mm-hmm. You want to keep your highest paid player healthy.
Right.
So if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders, Zamir White got to get some more time.
Definitely. I like Zeus. I've always liked Zeus. When we drafted Zeus, this was before Jacobs had that breakout year. Zeus is going to be good. Oh, I can't wait to see him on the field. We saw him a little bit of times, but the little bit of times that we saw him on the field, I liked it. You could see it. Like, he's going to be good. Give him more burn. What's up?
He said the stages of the halftime compressed a sold and created moisture that made it stick. Either that or Rihanna's sperm cell dancers. Chronicles of Bad Call, get out of here.
Really?
Yo. Anthony Price, we did talk about that, saying that he does need a solid number 2 outside of Devontae Adams.
We do. We brought up
the
Nelly.
Rams will release Ramsey. If they do, then depending on what Ramsey's price is,
that's the other part. How much are you gonna have to pay for him?
Right. Frank Ramsey is on a trade plot. Plus he would want big. He would want a big bag. Mm-hmm. He'll definitely want a big bag. Absolutely. So Zamir White definitely needs to expand his role, in my opinion. And White Puma says Dallas is about to offer Josh Jacobs a bag and the bank and all the features stocks Jerry Jones family member trophy wife.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I don't
think we keep it Jacobs. If we don't keep Josh Jacobs, I'm just completely done with the Raiders if we don't keep Josh Jacobs. He wants to stay here. How can you not get negotiations right? He wants to be paid like a top 5 running back because he is a top 5 running back.
And that's what we said, 13, 15 mil?
Yeah, Chris McCaffrey's getting 16.
Yeah.
He didn't even have half the year that Josh Jacobs had.
Right.
So Raiders, you're gonna have to break the bank to keep him. You're gonna have to do it.
But I could see Jerry Jones giving him like 20 just to get him to go to Dallas. Look
But
what he
you
gave
know what,
Zeke.
though?
Mm-hmm.
That offensive line ain't bad in Dallas.
No, it ain't.
It's not.
Yeah.
But I mean, that means what they're going to do with Zeke. What they going to do with that contract situation?
I think Zeke, and then you got Tony Pollard over there still too.
Exactly. And Tony Pollard's coming off of I think it's a torn Achilles or something like that. He's coming off a bad injury because he got hurt in the playoff game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully Josh Jacobs can be back with us. Hopefully.
Sam don't think I don't think we keeping Jacobs.
If we don't keep Jacobs, this is going to be a real issue. It's going to be a real issue. I'm really going to have something to say about the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to have to
the nation's going to go crazy if they don't keep him.
What you mean Josh McDaniels offered Josh Jacobs about 10? Technically, it's not really Josh McDaniels to offer him 10 mil. He's not in those contract negotiations. He's just the coach.
Yeah.
That's between him and between Mark Davis and Ziegler.
10 mil is the franchise tag him out.
Yeah, 10 mil would be a franchise tag, but I think that's lowballing.
That is low. Yeah.
That's lowballing. I'll be pissed if we don't keep Jacobs. Pray to God Josh Jacobs don't end up in KC like Mark.
Oh, God, don't say that. Don't even put that out there.
Come on, Crowns of the Black Hole, man. I don't want those memories, bro. I don't want those memories overall. Okay, Zig, we'll only offer 10. I don't think so. I don't think Zig had. I don't think they had talks as of right now. So another person that's going to expand their role in 2023, and I like this guy. We saw him play at the linebacker position this past year, taking over for Denzel Perriman. That's the undrafted free agent Luke Masterson.
Luke,
what's your thoughts on it, man? What's your thoughts on, Luke Masterson? Because he had a great off season. He was very he definitely focused on the revamped defense. He definitely played really well when he filled in. Do you think his role should expand?
Oh, definitely, man. Especially because we're so thin at linebacker. I love me some Luke. He played good. He played hard. I loved watching him out there. He reminded me kind of like you remember back when we had like Beaker and Fredrickson, when we had those two linebackers. He reminds me kind of like those two dudes. Yeah, I could see he definitely being a star with us. I love the way he plays, his motor. He's nonstop. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, because he's an undrafted out of Wake Forest too. He started 7 games for us too.
He's not a safety we're trying to convert to a linebacker. He's a linebacker.
Yes, please don't get a safety converted linebacker. We don't need that. I will re-sign Jacobs, Perriman, Stiddy, and Rock, and everyone else can kick rocks. Damn.
Everyone else can kick rocks?
Everyone else can kick rocks? That's great. That goes crazy right now.
even the receiver, you wouldn't bring back Mac?
I don't know if I'll bring back. See, I don't know. Listen, I don't know if we bring back Mac Hollins. It really depends where he's get other offers at too. If they trying to lowball him after his career year, he's going to go where the money at. That's what this league is all about.
Oh, definitely.
Go where the money at. It ain't about winning no more. It's not about winning Super Bowls. It's about chasing a bag in the NFL.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And last but not least, since we talked about an offensive tackle, we're talking about an offensive tackle, and that is Thayer Munford.
Ooh, big boy.
I think he was a very underrated draft pick for us last year. A very underrated draft pick for us. And I like the fact that he's going to expand his role because I would love to see him get more time. What I didn't like about our offensive line coach last year is that you was rotating them in the game during the game, so there was no chemistry.
Right.
On the offensive line, and I hated that.
Yeah.
Like, while you're rotating, if offensive linemen go down for injury, I can understand that. But you're rotating them in series where we're moving down the field.
Right.
The offensive line has chemistry while they already out there. So why would you try to throw Thayer Munford in a situation where we're driving down the field? It just doesn't make sense to me.
It didn't. Yeah, when you would see them do that, it's like, why? No. But I did like what I saw in Mumford, though. He was good. He's big.
Yeah, he was.
Where they used him.
He had his rookie woes like Dylan Parham. He had his rookie woes,
right.
And that's what we expect. We don't expect the rookie offensive lineman to be great right out the bat. I mean, look what happened with Colton Miller. You know, Colton Miller I thought he was whack at one point. Honestly,
yeah, I remember that.
I thought he was trash at one point.
He was trash. He was a bust. He wasted another pick, and he's turned out to be pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason Marshall says Jacobs was 45% of the Raiders offense, 2K all-purpose. No way we let him walk when a team offer a couple million more. Must match it. Facts.
Again, that's what we feel.
And Anthony Price says Marvin Jones next to Adams is a good duo. You know what? Marvin Jones is a free agent. I totally forgot about that.
What's his name is too? From Green Bay, Lazard.
Yeah, but I would put Marvin Jones is more productive.
Yeah.
Than Lazard. I like Lazard, but the only way you go get Lazard if you go get Rodgers.
That would be that combo.
It'll be the combo. You will bring that combo, and that brings it back to Aaron Rodgers again, basically.
Aaron Rodgers again.
So,
yeah.
I would like to see Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Peoples-Jones wasn't bad. He was good.
Yeah, he was not bad either. I like Donovan Peoples-Jones. I don't think he was that bad either.
I want us to get a burner, though. I feel like next to Adams, we need that burner. That deep
I
threat
think you
guy.
can get that burner out of the slot. I don't think you don't need a burner as a number 2.
But we got Renfro as our slot.
but Renfro doesn't run a 4-2.
No.
So I mean, but you still kind of got like a burn on the outside because people fail to forget that Devontae Adams ran a 4-3.
Oh yeah, he could still burn him. Yeah.
So yeah, he could still burn. It's just that if you want to get a burner, you want to get someone that's going to give a break to Hunter Renfro. I don't want a burner on the outside because most burners can't. Yeah, they good. Don't get me wrong, they're good in space. Right. They could go over the top. But can they run every route on a routing tree like Devontae Adams?
That's what Mac Hollins was missing.
Mac Hollins, but Mac Hollins did do those short plays. He did go across the middle. He wasn't just a deep ball guy, but he was just slow. Yeah. That was the difference. So
Mac had that size too.
Say again?
Mac had that size too.
Yeah, Byron Pringle is a burner, but can he run every route on a routing tree? That's the question. I want a speedster that could run routes. That could get in and out their routes so they can make the cornerbacks and the safeties confused. That's what I'm saying. I want a complete receiver like a Devontae Adams as a number 2. A little bit faster than Devontae, not as big as Devontae, but that could run every route like Devontae. So let's get into this segment here. Go at the D-Jacks. Hell no. Hell no. Here I say OBJ. Only problem I have with OBJ is his kid. Is he going to be able to stay healthy a whole year?
Right.
Because he only played a half the year when he won the Super Bowl with the Rams. And he got hurt in the Super Bowl if he wouldn't have never got hurt, he would have been the Super Bowl MVP. He would have been. Not, what's his name? That won it. Who won Super Bowl MVP? It wasn't Matt Stafford for the Rams. It was what's his name? Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp? Oh, Kupp.
It would have been OBJ over Cooper Kupp to win the Super Bowl MVP.
If he didn't get hurt, yeah.
Yeah, if he didn't get hurt, absolutely.
If he didn't get hurt, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So resign or walk.
Keyline gotta go.
So I have a few players on here for resign or walk.
Well, let's do this one. I want
and the first one is Deron Harmon. Do we resign or do we walk? Now it says here that when it comes to a PFF grade, which I don't like Pro Football Focus, but he has a 72.3 PFF grade with coverage of 76.6 and a run defense grade of 59.8. He had 21 receptions on 25 targets. He only allowed 221 yards and a QBR of 70.2 and 2 interceptions. Now his total stats was 86 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 5 pass breakups, and a touchdown, 11 defensive stops, and 12 missed tackles. They say in the contract projection is 1 year for $2.8 million. Do we re-sign or we walk Duron Harmon?
I say re-sign. I say you re-sign him at least for another year. He still gives you that experience, to be out there. We're still very thin out in that position. Having him, I think he had his moments where he played good, but I definitely say you re-sign him and you keep him.
Okay.
What do you think?
I say re-sign him as well. I think he's very productive. I think he's a very productive player, and I think he's good to help those young safeties as a veteran. And we really don't have too many veterans back there at the safety position.
No. We're young back there.
And speaking of your guy, Jerry Tillery, do we re-sign or do we walk Jerry Tillery? Now, according to his PFF grade, he's 43.3. His pass rush is 56.7. And his run defense is 35.3. 9 pressures, 2 quarterback hits, 6 defensive stops. His pass rush win rate is 13.4. Now, he had 10 tackles for loss, 2 missed tackles, and 5.4 depth off tackle and 1 penalty. We all know what that 1 penalty was.
Yeah.
That screwed us.
That was the 1 penalty he had.
And contract projection is 1 year, $2.5 million. Do we re-sign or do we walk Jerry Tillery?
That's a tough one. As a veteran presence, I would want to keep him. But it goes back to, is he doing more harm than good on the team? Can the young guys, like you talking about Butler, can we bring Von Philon, other guys back, have them rotate? Can they fill that hole? I don't see it as you have to re-sign Tillery, but I wouldn't be mad if they did.
I mean, I think you re-sign him, but at the same time, he did some asshole shit to make us lose the game.
That penalty.
That penalty pissed me off so badly. But I would love to see him in a full camp, just like White Puma said.
Exactly.
I would like to see him in a full camp and a full season under the Raiders just to see.
Yeah.
So the next person that I have on this list, another defensive lineman. Resign or walk, Clean and Farrell. But before we get into that, White Puma says, do you restructure Colton Miller and Chandler Jones' contract? They making big bucks and better produce. I think Colton Miller produced this year. Chandler Jones underproduced. So, resign or walk, Clean and Farrell. Make sure y'all put y'all resign or walk in the comments as well. So PFF grade for Clean and Farrell is 68.8. His pass rush is 60.1 and his run defense is 58.2. 23 pressures, 2.5 sacks, 11 defensive stops, and 8 quarterback hits. He had 26 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 7 hurries, and 2 pass breakups. He has a 12.5 pass win rate ratio and a 3.8 depth off tackle and 3 missed tackles. Contract projection is 1 year, $2.7 million.
You know what? He's difficult because as a Raider fan, you remember what he was supposed to come and do at that number 4 pick, and he did not fill those shoes. But for what he's producing now and how he's been playing, I say you keep him. I say you keep Farrell for that amount if you can.
Yeah, if you could get him on a 1 year, $2.75 million, I think that's a cheap deal.
That is cheap.
And I think it's a cheap deal to keep him, and then it keeps the depth of the edge. And I gotta say, Clean and Farrell definitely got better as the year progressed and when he got the time.
He did. He definitely did show. Like there were signs where you were like, "Oh, there he is," but he
Right.
never met expectations. But
Right.
for where he's
I
at
love his
now,
effort. I love his effort, you know. And
yeah,
you know, he's tried his hardest to, you know, try to get on that track, you know.
mm-hmm.
So um I think this next one might be a little easy for y'all.
Let's see.
I think this might be one right here that we might say yes to or resign. And that's Rock Yasin.
Woo!
Resign or walk. Now, Rock Yasin, 65.7 Pro Football Focus grade, 65.8 coverage grade, and a 59.3 run defense grade. 31 of the 53 receptions on targets, 323 yards allowed, 1 touchdown allowed all season. He has a QBR allowed of 82.5. So he has 45 tackles, 7 pass breakups, 8 defensive stops, and 9 missed tackles. Contract projection, 3 years, 12.6 million, 4.2 million on the average. Do we re-sign Rock Yasin or do we let him walk?
I think that's a no-brainer. You got to re-sign Rock. You have to. How can you not? I think he's our best corner right now. You know, Hobbs had an off year. Before I would have said Hobbs, but Hobbs had an off year. But I like Rock, how he produces.
Okay. Me personally, I think we re-sign Rock. But my only issue with Rock is, can he stay healthy? He couldn't stay healthy in Indianapolis. He missed a few games for us for Las Vegas, some crucial games that we needed him for. But I didn't know he only gave up 1 touchdown. I thought he
when you said that right now, I was like, woo.
I did not know that at all. I had no clue that he only gave up 1 touchdown. So I say re-sign Rock. But I wouldn't sign him for the 12 million.
No,
it has to be a little bit low. It has to be a little bit. I have to go to like 10 million. Take 2 million off of it for 2 years.
For 2, so that would be more. That would be 5 a year.
Yeah, but mind you, it says 12 so it says 12.6 and 4.2 million. So if you do it for 10, you could go like 3.
3
guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Oh, okay. Make those incentive contracts.
Yeah, this is for 3 years though, so I kind of understand why they did the 12 years, the 12 million with the 4.2. Still not really breaking the bank, but it's just his injuries that kill me. That his durability, the best ability is availability. So
that's the thing with him and Perriman is their availability. Because I like them, I love the way they play, but when their availability is like,
Agreed.
Yeah.
And last but not least, y'all, re-sign or walk our defensive tackle Andrew Billings. So Andrew Billings has a 76.4 Pro Football Focus grade, 66.4 in the pass rush grade, and 72.3 in the run defense grade. 22 defensive stops, 10 pressures, 1.5 sack, and 41% run stop win ratio. He had 39 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3 QB hits, 8 QB hurries, 18.2 pass win rate, a 2.2 depth at of the tackle. His contract projection is 2 years, 6.5 million, 3.2 guaranteed. Do we re-sign Andrew Billings or do we let him walk?
No, you got to re-sign. You got to re-sign him. He's good. I didn't realize he had that many pressures till you pointed it out. But yeah, no, I like him. He's good. You got to re-sign him. And then for that amount, how could you not? Yeah. Help him. Get him help. Bring more D tackles. Draft more D tackles, Give more burn to the younger guys. Put them in the rotation to help them out. But I like him.
Hey, Punch Drunk Raider. I didn't forget about Stidham. We talked about him. We talked about him early in the podcast that we should re-sign Stidham and whatever in the cap space that we have, which we have like what the 4th most or the 3rd most cap space. We have the third most cap space in the NFL. You re-sign Stiddy, and you probably draft a quarterback and use the rest of that cap space to build around your team.
Mm-hmm.
That's that we talked about it already.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
White Puma says, would y'all make a deal sending Rodgers to the Jets and the Raiders get the Green Bay 15th overall pick, and Green Bay gets the Jets 13th overall pick in 2024 in a first round pick in the first round? So hold on, let me read that.
Wait. Yeah, hold on.
So he said, would y'all make a deal sending Rodgers to the New York Jets? The Raiders would get the 15th overall pick, and the Green Bay Packers would get the Jets 13th overall pick, 2024 first round pick, and the Las Vegas 39th overall.
How are we involved if we're sending them to the Jets, Rodgers?
Exactly. I'm confused. What are the Raiders actually giving up?
Or why are we
because because I've never seen NFL do 3-team trades.
No,
have you seen it?
More than you see that in the NBA, not in the NFL.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You see it more in the NBA than you see it in the NFL with 3-team trades.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about that one. I don't know. Jason Marshall said, I'll add Harmon, one more year left in the tank, like his vet presence. So I think they said for Deron Harmon, you'll add another year. I think they said 1 year, 2.5. I'll put a second year on that.
Yeah.
I'll put a second year on that. So Steve Jones says, bring in Brissett. You know what?
No, what?
People got so much bad to say about Brissett. He just comes in and do his job. He knows Josh McDaniels. He got drafted to the New England Patriots. People fail to forget that he started his career as a New England Patriot under Josh McDaniels. But Brissett have the legs, and we want to see a mobile quarterback that could throw the ball. I can see Brissett coming in and battling for the quarterback position against Stiddy.
Do you think so?
I think it's going to be a quarterback battle.
But isn't the whole point of moving on from Carr is to upgrade the position? You think Brissett's an upgrade?
Do you think Stidham's an upgrade?
No, but he's what we would have.
And that's what we have with Brissett too.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I
like what he did. I like what he was doing in Cleveland, even before Watson came back. When Watson came back, Cleveland went, off. When Brissett was there, you saw Cleveland's run game was more dominant, more present than when Watson came back. Brissett did a good job, man. It's like, yeah, you're right. He goes in, he does his job. He managed that team. He did what they could. Got the ball to Cooper. Yeah. I don't know.
But if me, I know Brissett's been around. He's been around a lot in the league. Playing for the Patriots, playing for the Colts, and now playing for the Cleveland Browns. He's experienced. And people think that I don't think Brissett is trash. I just think he's on trash teams.
Yeah.
I don't think he's trash. I think he's on trash teams. What's going on, Gregor John? Mo Green said, what's good, bro? I just came to like and share and watch at least 5 minutes. I appreciate it, Mo Green. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate you, man. White Puma said, would y'all give our 39th pick this year and a 2024 first rounder for Aaron Rodgers?
So that would be this year's second and next year's first for Rodgers.
I'm not talking about Aaron Rodgers no more. I just don't. If he's not a Raider by the time this season starts, I don't want to hear nothing about Aaron Rodgers. I'm tired of talking about him. The man's in a dark retreat.
He has to decide whether he wants to come back first.
And that's my problem with this.
He has to decide if he wants to come back first.
The man is 40 years old. He had the lowest QBR of his career last year with 39.
Yeah.
So he had one of his worst years of his career, and I can't bank on trading the future because a 40-year quarterback is undecided every offseason. I can't bank on that. So
Coming off
y'all telling me to trade for Aaron Rodgers, and then I have to worry every season if he's going to come back. Why do I have to worry about that?
Mm-hmm.
As a fan, think about it.
Oh, yeah.
This guy. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, you're right. He does that to everybody. And that's the thing that we've been saying since we talked about it last time. The thing with him is we're going to have to wait every year if he's coming back or not.
He's doing a Tom Brady, man. He's doing a Tom Brady all over again.
You know he's coming back, though, because if he retires this year, he enters the Hall of Fame with Brady. You think he's going to want to share that spotlight with Brady? Nah. He'll come back at least this year. Next year,
There's nothing wrong with two quarterbacks sharing the limelight for the Hall of Fame. It's not like the WWE where you have a top guy that's getting into the Hall of Fame, but then you have the rest. It's not like WWE. I mean, you always have a good, like, one thing about the NFL Hall of Fame, you always have a good draft class. Always. Yes. Mm-hmm. But Rodgers back with Adams is going to be dangerous. He's just not worth it. Right now, he's not worth it. If we could get an Aaron Rodgers 5 years ago, I'll do it.
I just don't want to give up, like you said. I don't want to give up the future for a guy that I don't know is going to come in every year and for how long we're going to have him.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'll tell you this much, and to go back to what Marshall was saying about Mark Davis settling, he will put asses in those seats. If we get Aaron Rodgers,
we got the best stadium in the world.
If we get Aaron Rodgers, best believe that stadium is going to start to give forward.
I mean, it was asses in the seats with Carr.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, more so much too with the other opposing fans and all that stuff. Like, you bring Aaron Rodgers to Vegas, it's kind of like you're bringing a star.
And White Puma said, "Would you overall pick 2024 first round pick for the Bears first overall pick?" No. Now that's interesting.
That means you would be going all in.
Are you serious?
All in.
I would take that. They don't have no players involved. If you look at, he said, give up the number 7 overall pick in a 2021 first round pick, which we don't know where that first round pick is going to be at. Okay. For the number 1 overall pick. You know how open it makes things when you have the overall pick at number 1?
The Raiders get the number 1 pick. They're gonna go what? Stroud? Not Stroud. Young.
You could go Bryce Young. You could go Will Anderson, a defensive player.
That's if they went defensive player, then I wouldn't be mad. If they went Carter then I wouldn't be mad.
Jalen Carter, it opens up every aspect. I would take that. I'm sorry. I would take that. It's not like I would take that because now you have every option to figure out what you want at number 1. You want to go corner, you want to go quarter, you want to go offensive alignment, you want to go defensive alignment, you could go, it makes it so much wider.
You get your pick of who you want.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then the Bears can still get what they want at number 7. Because right now they don't really need a quarterback. They need an offensive line for Justin Fields. So they most likely the Bears is going to trade out, but the question is who they're going to trade it to. I don't like that though. Puma, I like that one better than the other one.
But I heard it's a lot many more points for a first round pick though.
Huh?
To move up to, they say you got to give up a lot more than just that for a number 1 pick.
Yeah, that's why he said the number 7 in a first round pick in 2024.
No, but you would even have to add more than that, I think, to move up to number 1.
Well, let's see what the only thing is we gotta see what the Bears offer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Rodgers is best 2 years. That's all. Now,
yeah, if he was to come, I would say that in 2 years with the Raiders, and that's it.
Can I say this real quick because I think my cousin had a point, and it was the day of the elimination chamber, and I know this don't have nothing to do with Raiders, but it definitely has something to do with Aaron Rodgers. He told me if you look at the careers of Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers, is similar. They only, mind you, it took Peyton Manning forever to get over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers only has 1 Super Bowl, but all they could do is fill a stat sheet. Understand that the second Super Bowl was not really on Peyton Manning. It was that defense that got it for him.
You think?
Yeah, it was
Von
that.
Miller?
So that's why I don't really count the second Super Bowl, which he does have 2 Super Bowls, but
It does.
we all know the first Super Bowl was his best Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I could kind of compare the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to take that 1 Super Bowl away from the Peyton Denver, and just keep the Indianapolis Colts Denver.
I mean, yeah,
their careers is literally identical.
Miller won that Super Bowl for them, but Manning did have a good year.
Yeah, but you could tell that he was on his way out.
Yeah, but he still had a good enough year to get in there. But yeah, Miller was the man in that Super Bowl. Yeah.
You know what, Mo?
What'd he say?
Rodgers is just a Rivers with a ring.
No,
you know
don't
what?
do that to Rodgers. Don't do that.
No, I'm being honest. If you look at Philip Rivers' numbers, he has the same amount of numbers as Aaron Rodgers in his career. I'm being honest. Peyton Manning, and Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, and Philip Rivers.
You're saying Manning is like them too?
I think when it comes to stats wise, all I bet you in passing yards, all 3 of them is top 50, at least top 20 in passing yards.
Yeah.
So they can fill a stat sheet, but Rivers is the only one that couldn't win a Super Bowl, unfortunately. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kick Butkowski, pause. He said, but I think that McDaniels is a bit of a control freak, so he needs a young QB that would do as he told. You know what? I would not be surprised because we saw that with Derek Carr this year.
I was gonna say that's what's coming out now. That's what was the thing with Carr.
Mm-hmm. We saw that with Derek Carr this year. That he did what McDaniel said. He just did his job, basically.
Yeah.
Steve Jones says, how is Keshawn Nixon? So how is Keshawn Nixon special teams a beast now? Because look who was over there on special teams. Look who their special teams coach was. Rich Bisaccia.
Should have stayed our coach.
Rich Bisaccia is the special teams coach for the Green Bay Packers. They got interviewed for the coach job and didn't get it. So, I mean, I'm just saying. Rodgers is a Drew Brees. You could put that comparison too. You could put that listen, you could put that comparison too because they both only got 1 Super Bowl and they both can fill a stat sheet. I mean, Drew Brees, you right about that. Anthony Price, you right about that. Definitely tell me, child, tell them to hit that like button, bro. Tell them to hit that like button and make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe to the channel. You know, I'm doing XFL on the weekends and we doing this every Tuesday. If we could get another day in, hopefully we can, because I do my podcast on the other channel 3 times a week. So hopefully we could probably get another episode of this to get the more episodes out there instead of once a week. But Dave S says Raiders will have way more to address than getting a stud QB, regardless of the AA run, and get a bridge QB, draft the QB, and address other needs.
That's why we keep saying stick with Stidham.
And this is why it's nothing but Raiders podcast, because we keep it authentic, we keep it real, we keep it realistic over here on this podcast. We just keep it realistic as Raiders fans. We just do. Do we bring back Brandon Parker? Hell
no. We're not bringing that dude back.
We're not bringing that scrub back. No. Scrub, scribbity scrub. No, Brandon Parker. No. I'd rather draft somebody in the 6th round pick over Brandon Parker. That's just me. Anthony Price would say, I'm not liking nothing. Oh, now you're not liking nothing. But Anthony Price, I got a question for you, bro. Even though this is a Nothing But Raiders podcast, how you feel about Eric Bieniemy being your assistant head coach and your offensive coordinator? Mo, how you feel about the Commanders having Eric Bieniemy as your assistant head coach and offensive coordinator? I just want to know that.
I can't believe he left to the Commanders.
Nobody else was going to give him a head coaching job unless not Eric B.
No, I thought he would take over for the Chiefs once Reed retired. Yeah.
Huh. This is a good one. Would you give up number 7 overall pick in Darian Waller for the Bears number 1 pick?
Do it.
I mean,
Do it now.
Rumors
Put it through.
speculating about. Oh, you want to get you willing to trade Waller?
Wow, for the number 1 pick and this year's 7 just to move up? Absolutely.
I mean, you do give Justin Fields a weapon.
You do. Mm-hmm.
He does need a receiver, but Waller's not a receiver.
He's not, but he could. He's like a big receiver.
Yeah, he's like a big receiver. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Marshall, Malik Watson. Malik Watson is pretty good. He's pretty underrated. Like I said, it's a setup to take Rob's Johnson. Oh, see? That's why I said it. I have if Ron Rivera does not do well this year, Eric Bieniemy will be the head coach for the Commanders in 2024. I bet you that. You'll come back to this live in 2024 on November 21st, 2023. I said it that Eric Bieniemy will be the head coach for the Commanders. It doesn't mean nothing as of now because Mo Green is a Commanders fan. Number 1 pick for Jalen Carter. If we can get the number 1 pick, Jalen Carter is our pick. It got to be our pick.
Gotta be.
The last time we had the number 1 overall pick, we got Jamarcus Russell, and we got to do right by that now. We got to erase that.
We definitely got to do right by that.
We got to erase that, man, because Jamarcus Russell was garbage. I was so mad about that, man. So mad about that. He said Eric Bieniemy is decent, but I don't think EB would have the full answer when we got beat up running backs, mediocre wide receivers, and a quarterback who only eats chicken. You know what?
He said a quarterback that only eats chicken.
You know what's wrong with only eating chicken? Wait, what's wrong with only eating chicken? I mean,
you never heard? You can't.
Sometimes I eat steak a little bit, especially a little beef, but I mean, especially a little turkey. But my majority of my food is chicken. I'm sorry, my food is chicken. I'm sorry, the Raiders is going to kill their future if they get the number 1 pick. Why?
How are they going to kill their future?
How will kill our future?
That makes
how many draft picks that we got in this year's draft? Like, how many we got, bro?
I'll tell you right now exactly.
We got a lot of draft picks, especially if we only got to trade 1 draft pick. If we got to trade our number 7 to move up to number 1, I don't know about that. I would have to disagree with that. We have a lot of draft picks this year. Let me just see real quick because I think you're looking it up.
Yeah. Because they're trying to calculate how many. Right now we have 9. Yeah.
So I mean, if we trade our 7 to move up to 1, we still keep our pick. If we trade it,
we have 9 picks.
We have 9 picks. I take that.
Yeah.
You have to trade almost 4 to get the number 1 pick. But
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
But that's only if. That's only if. But you got to think about it. It's the Bears. The Bears would kind of give it. The Bears would. It's the Chicago Bears. Let's just put it out in the air. The Chicago Bears would do some stupidity. We seen stupidity in the Bears draft. We seen them move up and go get a Mitchell Trubisky. We seen it.
Oh no, Puma. No. If only Hooker. Which QB do the Raiders take at 7? If Hooker and Richardson are left?
I'm taking Hooker.
At 7, Hooker. You don't take a quarterback. At 7, you take Hooker?
I'll take. If it's the only quarterbacks left, and I'm going to go with the best player on the board at that time, and most of the players that we wanted is not there, I'm taking Hooker.
What about the whole offensive tackle thing?
I mean, it depends if Skornowski is not there from Northwestern. It's kind of a drop off in the offensive tackle spot.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. It really depends who's off the board at that time. I'm not, but he said if it's Hooker and Richardson left, and whoever we wanted is not there in the last 6 picks, because you know how the draft is. A lot of people reach in the top 5. They reach in the top 5, top 6
for their guy.
For their guy. So yeah, I'll take Hooker. I'm sure Ziegler would come up with more picks trading down mid rounds. Why not trade up? Got a point there.
I wouldn't mind them trading up. They could trade up to like 4 or 5 and get either one of the quarterbacks they wanted.
See, my only problem with getting Stinson Bennett, he has that DUI charge on his record now. That reckless endangerment thing where he was drunk, knocking on people's doors. So I don't know how they're going to look at him. But remember, I talked about this about Stinson Bennett. I said the only way we get Stinson Bennett if Tom Brady comes here. That's the only way.
You did say that, I remember. Yeah.
But Tom Brady officially retired because you just never know with him.
Nah, you don't think you think he'll come back? No way.
I don't know, man. I don't know. After what Patrick Mahomes said, he's going to try to win more Super Bowls than Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady want to get an 8th to make it harder for Patrick Mahomes.
Just to make it harder.
Just to make it harder. That's just me. Draft a DB or corner in BPA on defense at number 7. Possible.
If Christian Gonzalez was there, do it.
Yeah, Christian Gonzalez there, do it. The Bears' first pick going to be a kicker. Bears do stuff like that. My point exactly.
Hey,
the Raiders could definitely get away with a highway robbery for the Bears. They really can. If we put in Waller in our 7th overall pick for the first overall pick, I'll take that.
Oh,
the Bears would take that. I'm telling you. That's how you think the Raiders are dysfunctional. Just imagine the Bears' dysfunction right now. They would definitely take that. They would take Darren Waller in our 7th overall pick and give us the number 1 pick. Or you throw another player in there. Throw Chandler Jones in there. Shit. Throw Chandler Jones
in there. Yeah, I can do it. Do it. Throw him in there.
Throw Chandler Jones in there, you know?
Yep.
Those 2 players in a 7th overall pick. They'll take it. So White Puma says the Texans has 5 picks in the 3 rounds. In the cap room, we should make a deal with them for their number 2 or their number 12. Yeah, if they want less than what the Bears are offering, because I heard Sean Anthony Price said for a pick for the first overall pick. So if we can make a easier deal with the Texans to get the number 2 pick, that will widen us to get what we need to get at number 2.
Mm-hmm. You could still even go top defensive player with that. Yeah,
exactly. You could definitely go top defensive player, or if you could go quarterback. I mean, Stroud might be there at 2. That's your guy. You want Stroud? I don't know how you like this guy.
I do. I like of what's out there now. Yeah, if I had my choice, we wouldn't draft our quarterback till next year when Caleb Williams comes. But that's going to be a whole other issue. Do you think
we'll have a high draft pick? That's the thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't want that because I don't want to have a high draft pick next year.
Exactly. So, I mean, trying to get Caleb Williams, that's not going to work, man. Caleb Williams is a stud, though. He's definitely a stud.
Yeah, he is.
The Bears have doo-doo of their FO. I mean, do you mean free agent or front office?
Front
okay.
Office. Yeah.
Brady haven't had a retirement press conference yet. Just like last year, he's not done playing. I don't know.
But he said that's why, because he had his press conference last year. So that's why he's not having it this year.
Yeah, he did have his press conference last year. And he still ended up coming back. Regardless of what he says, how it was a press conference or a video, we just don't know. We just don't know. Give the Bears a cheeseburger and a sweet tea, and the Raiders can get whatever they want from the Bears. I'm with y'all. It's a fact. It is a known fact that the Bears don't know how to run an organization, just like the Bears.
Right now, you're talking about the Bears. What if instead of getting their number 1 pick, we trade for Fields and they keep their pick? Would you be down with that?
How many draft picks we have to give up to get Fields? How many people do we have to give up to get Fields?
I don't know. Let's see it.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, what do the Bears want in return for Justin Fields? He wouldn't fit right in Vegas. Your whole team ain't good people. You know what, Anthony Price?
What are you talking about?
I know what he
Stetson
meant.
Bennett? About Stetson Bennett?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, Stetson Bennett would fit right in though. I mean, I just feel like he's a little bit short. I mean,
Well,
but
that's a
look at
knock
Drew
on him,
Brees.
right?
Drew
Mhm.
Brees was short. So I mean, Kyler Murray's short. So I can't even say that.
The thing with Stetson Bennett that, like, I think you said it when we first talked about him, was what he had to do to become that number one quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, everything he had to do to become that number one and
It was a
stay as that
Brady
number one.
journey.
It was a Brady journey in college for him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
hey, if he comes in and win a Super Bowl before the Raiders win one, something ain't right.
Mm-mm.
Something ain't right, because a lot of Raiders fans think that we're Super Bowl bound this year because the Super Bowl is in Allegiant Stadium this year.
Yeah, they're all buying into the script. Mm-hmm.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Yes, I would love to see the Raiders win a Super Bowl in our own stadium. Yes, I would love the Raiders to win a Super Bowl in general. I don't care if we win that bad boy in the frozen tundra. We're going to win. We're going to win a Super Bowl. So understand that it's our home and stuff like that. But I just think we're a couple of years away. We're not Super Bowl bound right now.
So, given our team right now, with say Crosby, Jacobs, Adams, what's the Raiders' window for having to get to that Super Bowl before those dudes are gone?
2 years.
2 years? Okay.
2 years. I mean, I would say win now, but I have to look at free agency and look at the draft and how we do.
In the draft.
Then we can shape it up.
Right.
And be like, okay, we got something here on paper. Then we got to look at it when training camp starts. Then we got to look at it with preseason, then the regular season, and then how the season ends. So it's all a process.
Mm-hmm.
So
oh, you crazy!
If we could get Stroud or Richardson, I think we could win the chip within 3 years. I don't know.
Nah, I don't think with Richardson. I'm telling you.
I don't know what Stroud. I don't know what's the hype with Anthony Richardson. I don't know the hype.
Have you seen him?
I seen him play.
Yeah,
but I didn't think he was that great in Florida. I don't think he was that great.
You're right. He's not. But everybody is dwelling on his size, his strength, and what he could be.
He's a raw talent.
Yes.
Meaning that he's a developmental quarterback.
Mm-hmm. He's still developing into a quarterback. He's not a quarterback. Yeah.
I'm not sold on the Tim Tebow like quarterbacks. I'm not sold on that.
Exactly.
And I think Anthony Richardson is a Tim Tebow with just a better arm.
Yeah. Wait till the combine happens and he goes out there and he does his thing.
I want to see him throw.
They're gonna be like, this is what we're
throw.
talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
NFL news: Jets told Derek Carr he could be a first ballot Hall of Famer if he wins in New York. You know what? That's the New York media for you.
Yep.
That's
I've been going in those Jet pages. They're all excited for Derek Carr.
It's the New York media, bro.
They're even talking about they're willing to pay him $40 million to come to New York. I was like, what? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you know what? They got the cap space for it, and they already got a top 10 defense over there in New York. Yeah. So Derek Carr would actually have a good defense in the 9 years that he never had in with us, unfortunately.
Which, you know what, brings me to a question I was going to ask you.
What?
You saw the Super Bowl. Right?
Yeah.
You saw who won.
Yeah.
The mighty Philadelphia Eagles defense, right?
Right.
That was supposed to come in. And yet, here we are on the Super Bowl, and KC puts 38 points on them. So, back to building a defense. Does it really matter to build a defense when you have to still score as many points as Mahomes?
It was a lot of scenarios that happened in that Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. This is where Philadelphia Eagles went wrong in this Super Bowl. And I know there's nothing but Raiders, but I just got to talk about it because I really haven't talked about it on this channel. Y'all see me do the live stream of the Super Bowl, but that really changed the aspect of this defense, and it really changed the aspect of the Philadelphia Eagles was momentum.
Okay.
When the Eagles was on their own 30-yard line, they were 2 for 2 on fourth downs, and they did not go for it on 4th and 2. They decided to punt. They decided to punt, and that's when you had Kadarius Toney get a good punt and get them good field position.
Yeah.
The Eagles never looked good after that. Yeah, they had one good drive where they got the touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the defense was pretty solid.
The first
it was
half.
more of the coaches not making adjustments.
Exactly.
You know, the players have to come out and execute, but you saw that the Kansas City Chiefs made adjustments and the Eagles didn't.
Exactly.
That's what happened. So, yes, building a defense to beat a Patrick Mahomes. We've seen Patrick Mahomes be beat with a good defense. We've seen it happen. We see him get demolished in the Super Bowl against that Buccaneer defense. What, 31-9?
Yeah, they got smashed.
So we've seen it happen. It's not like he's invincible. You just got to know how to scheme around him. That's why I said in a preview show that I did that if you're going to beat Patrick Mahomes, you have to get to him and you got to look at that defensive scheme that they did against him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And that's what I always tell. I'm glad you said that, because that's why I tell people this is why coaching matters.
Coaching matters.
I don't matter. I don't care if we have all these superstars. You bring in Rodgers, you bring in Ramsey, you bring all these dudes. But if these coaches don't get these players right or make the adjustments and the changes, it ain't gonna matter.
Facts. Dupree said, I'm no longer a Carr fan because of you, bro. You don't have to be a Carr fan no more. I want to support Carr. Doesn't mean I'm a Jets fan. I just want him to succeed.
What? Why because of you? What's wrong with liking Carr?
I just want him to succeed, man. I just felt like he was just dealt a bad hand with our organization. I mean, you give him an audition after that guy's been here for 9 years. Why the hell he has to audition? Why?
Right.
You know, so but that's just me talking. That fumble by Jalen changed the momentum. No, I disagree.
No, they still came back after that.
Yeah, but you see them, they bounced back from that.
They bounced back from it. They
got the momentum back after that. When when Nick Sirianni decided to punt and give that ball to Kadarius Toney, that changed the game. It changed the entire aspect.
When they punted. They were doing their little thing all game, the run, the little sneak for 1-2 yards all game.
Right. It was that, and it was the first drive of the second half. That after the halftime show, they went right down the field and scored like that. But that all started from the 4th and 2 that you decide to punt. Well, that was the only punt in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that was the first punt of the game.
Yeah.
I don't think Rodgers and Josh McDaniels would get along. They won't. That's why I don't.
Word. That's what everybody keeps saying.
It's not going to work. It's definitely not going to work. The edge rushers could not get tractions on a horrible field. Right. They couldn't get the Patrick Mahomes because every time they try to go upfield or they try to stunt, they slipped. Basically. So this was a good episode, man. This was actually fun.
It was always fun.
This was actually fun, man. Bro, Rodgers will be smoking whatever you meant by that in the locker room. Telling McDaniels F off. It's going to be a disaster in Vegas with the strip tripping out. It's going to be a disaster if Aaron Rodgers come here.
You think so?
It's going to be a disaster. It's going to be too much media outlets. It's going to be too much media talk about it, too much. And I hate when they talk good about the Las Vegas Raiders because you notice every time they talk good about the Las Vegas Raiders, we play like shit.
They did it to us this season.
we went on that 3-game winning streak, and then they talked so good about us in that 3-game winning streak, and look what happened.
That man, wow.
And I did every game this year. For the damn near every game this year for the Las Vegas Raiders. I seen it. I seen it. But also we need a cover linebacker. The last 2 good cover linebackers was Morrison and Howard.
Captain Kirk. Ooh, I remember Captain Kirk. That's a good
Facts.
That's a Raider
Absolutely.
legend right there. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Roger is going to be a partner with Planet 13.
You know what?
Anthony
They probably
Bryson,
will sponsor him. You're right. They probably will.
Get off my chat right. Get out the chat right now. Just
Oh man.
get out the chat right now, bro. For real. But we gotta head out, guys. It's almost 7:00. We've been on here for an hour and 40 minutes. I know he got to get back to work and everything of that nature. So we want to shout out to everybody being in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. We're going to turn these into a few shorts that we're going to upload on this channel as well. But we appreciate all y'all coming in here, man. We definitely appreciate all y'all coming in here. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. Is at not Spotlight Art and Talk no more. It's Spotlight FB Talk right now. So Spotlight FB Talk on Twitter, Spotlight Football Talk on Instagram. Let them know where they can follow you, man. Let them know where they can follow you.
Yeah, bro. Same thing on Instagram. You know, like you said, on my name on there, Cheeto Linus is good. But like, once again, I love it. Love talking Raider football with you. Like he said,
absolutely, man.
Do this again. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all see the name right there, right in the left hand corner. That's left hand corner. I get my left and right sometimes messed up. Don't mind me. I'm so used to playing football. You know, when you do twins right and twins left, it's like the opposite when you do that. And shit. So yeah. Yeah, so make sure y'all follow us, man, and make sure y'all go over to SeatGeek if you do want to go to a live event, a live concert, a sporting event. Make sure y'all use our promo code SRT and get your first $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. Make sure y'all go over there if y'all even want to get prepared for Raiders games this upcoming season. Make sure you get your ticket and use that promo code to get your first $20 off, man.
I'm about to go look for an XFL game on there.
Hey. Listen. The Las Vegas Vipers are out there, man. You go to the Las Vegas Vipers game. I'm just saying.
I gotta check it out. Yep.
And that's what I'm working on too. I'm working on one of my guys, a Fast-Ski Raider. He wants to do a Las Vegas Vipers podcast. That's gonna be fun to watch. They got the red and black. I think their jerseys are tough. But Rod, I think it's what's his name? Is it Rod Woodson? I think Rod Woodson is the
Rod Woodson's the coach.
Vipers.
Rod Woodson is the coach.
Yeah, Rod Woodson is the coach, a former Raider, and was a former Raider coach. So
he was the DP.
I mean,
coach.
it just keeps that in there, man. But we thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. It's been a dope podcast. We're gonna try to do this twice a week if we can, depending on our schedules. So basically, man, follow us on all social medias, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings, y'all. We out of here, and I'll see you on the next live stream or in the next video, y'all. Peace out.
Peace out, bro.
Hi, my name is AJ Cole, and I'm the punter for the Las Vegas Raiders, and you are now watching Spotlight Raiders Talk.